All right, everybody. Welcome to the Invest in RV Parks podcast. On this episode, it's Friday, our wonderful Friday deal analysis. Woo woo. Some of us are dancing in our RVs. Love that, Monica. Great energy all the time. Dig it. You guys are chill. You found your spot. I know you were driving your haulers around yesterday. So love that. But yeah, on these Friday episodes, we're here to help bird dogs, to help find deals, analyze deals, make some money, answer any questions you have. Shucks, maybe even moving on to the next stages of owning it yourself and all the fun things that are involved with that. Dancing because you're in beautiful Tucson. Oh, awesome. Yeah. Tucson, Arizona. Dig it. Super fun. Yeah. Go find some RV parks around there to buy. All right. Welcome, everyone. Christine, Greg, Mike, Lizanne. I dig it. We're going to have some fun today. All right. So get everything ready. So, yeah, here we go. All right. So, yeah, as we move along, just want to let you make sure you guys know where your chat box is so that, yep, some people are in there. Monica, Lizanne, everyone's in there. Make sure that you can find that. So we can interact a little bit there. If you have any questions and things, move things along. You know, we've had some ongoing from week to week sagas of people looking for parks, analyzing some things. So it's going to be fun to see how things have developed. I know there's lots of fun things happening. So yeah, might as well start with that. Any other wins, things from last week? Monica, I know what you were going and going to talk with someone. Want to find out how that went.
It was fun. It was a full park. It was a long-term one. It was very
So
messy. It would
remind us,
need a
oh gosh,
lot of
remind
work.
us again. Yeah, you were going to look, you were asking last week questions that you should, things that you should be doing and questions to ask because you were going in person to a
Right.
potential park you wanted to buy. And in what state was it?
Where was it? It was in Texas, but it was in
Texas.
what is that town called? I keep forgetting.
That's fine
Um,
enough. Texas
yeah, it's
Park.
in Texas. And my the reason we were going there is because my best friend lives there. So we were visiting her, and then that
Nice.
part came up. So I visited that. And I did ask the seller if you had, if money wasn't an issue, what would you do? And the 14 acres that he has unused, like, because he has the park is full of long terms, and the 14 acres, he said he could build more pads. It's zoned for more pads, but he said he would put warehouses because he has one warehouse already and it rents out every month. And there was a lot of industrial things around there. So that's what he would do. For me, it's not going to work. It needs too much money into it. It needs a lot of cleanup. Whoa. It needs a lot of cleanup. And even the 14 acres that's unused would need a lot of work. So, but I still was thinking about, bird dogging it to someone else who might be interested. I know there's some people that do like those projects that don't necessarily need infrastructure like build up, but need the people to clean up because you could tell they've been there a long time.
Ah, yeah. Okay. So yeah, when you say clean up, what do you mean by clean
There's
up?
spots, like there's spots had those trailers have been sitting for years on end and have a lot of built. There's broken down vehicles and junk and yeah, it was pretty bad. There was one trailer that nobody could live in it. It was all beat up and living, but still there, just like with grass growing up around it. It was disgusting. It needed a lot of cleanup.
Got
But
it. Yeah.
still, that's, something that could easily be done
Right. Yeah. I mean, and that can be
for the
very
right
typical
person.
with the long-term stays is that you just people hunker down and they
Yeah.
just build around them. Tons, like so much so that yeah, you'd have to take off some of the structure just to pull them out if you needed to, right? Because it's their RVs a lot of the time, but it's more like a mobile home park in that regard because they're
Yeah.
just permanent and it's in Texas, you can stay there all year round where here in the Ohio or the colder places, they'll kick you out. They'll purposefully
Right.
close down for some of that. But yeah, then that's yeah, like Kevin is saying, that's why we don't allow permanent structures placed on pads. It's just what do you want your culture to be like, And
Yeah.
those people that are there every single day of the year, they feel a sense of ownership because I mean, gosh, they're there more than a lot of these absentee owners are. So they're the people that are like, oh no, this is my RV park. This is my spot, right? They feel a big sense of ownership, and that can be a problem. And I
Mhm.
mean, from a law standpoint, that can be a problem as well. So lots of
That's what we need
things.
those rules in place. Like I think I was talking to you guys before about, we stayed long term in a place in California for years and we had a sign every month this paper and sometimes it changed and you were only allowed to have 5 plants outside or you're only allowed to have, because they didn't want it to look like you lived there all the time, year after year. So you had to
Yeah.
keep it very nice and tidy, which I like as a full timer. I don't want to live in a junkyard.
No, right. And so absolutely. So then you've got some people that don't mind. They think it's eclectic and interesting to do that. And then you've got other people that are just offended by that. And it's like, ugh. So
Yeah.
it's you really want to figure out that clientele that you want to attract, because if you don't, the park will figure it out for you. And Kaiser will just like lower itself to the bottom denominator of all of that. It won't raise up to the best ones. They'll just say, screw this, I'm out. But yeah, so I mean, what Lizanne's asking, like, open to negotiating on things, like open to some
He is open
terms,
to
or
seller financing. The problem is he wants too much for what it's making because
Mm,
he thinks the land is worth so much. Like the RV park is only on 3 acres and he has 14 acres unused. And the land probably is worth a lot, but you can't get financing on it if it's not showing that it makes that much. And so I think he would be like a little bit open to negotiating there, which is why, like for me, I don't want the park, but I was thinking I have some people in mind that I was going to hit him up and say, like, hey, I have this park, are you interested in it? Because they do like those kind of projects. I don't want that project.
Yeah,
yeah.
Monica,
Oh,
sometimes it's just getting them to understand that in order to do anything with the land, it's going to cost so much money, so it's just like a conversation that needs to be had.
Right.
But I don't know if you're open, I mean, for me and Zach to maybe talk to him, see if we could get him to come down, give him some more clear understanding of like really what's happening at the park. Like, this is
Mm,
what we have to base it on because we won't be able to make the payments to you. And, this is what it's going to cost to clear the land. Just, try to open those
right.
conversations. We're available. So,
yeah. And here's some other quick questions for you. How many units are on there, roughly?
62.
62. All right. So
Yeah.
decent amount. What was he asking for
Um,
everything?
7 million or something.
no, it wasn't. It was like 3 million. I have it right here.
Maybe it'd be like to buy it for 1 million or something, but
Right there. Oh, Liberty Hill. That's what it is. Liberty Hill. Oh, yes, 42 RV slots. One warehouse that's bringing in $7,000. It's on 20 acres. Um, he's the one who he got it because he was planning on building a multifamily, but that he likes land. He's a land investor. And then it turned in, so that's why he's selling too. He lives out of state and he doesn't want to own an RV park. Um, but yeah, and then what else did he say? Yeah, so he wants to sell it for 3.5, but what I worked out, it's more like 2.3.
okay. And so I wonder, the
2.8.
parcels that he have, is it all one big parcel right now, or is this extra 14 acres, is that a separate parcel?
I don't
We
know.
we could check that out by
So,
looking online. But anyway, so these are some of the things that are going on my mind. But yeah, you can go at the county auditor site. We can go GIS, and we can look the Global Information System. I think that's what it stands for. But anyway, it's like all across the country. You can go and look and click on all the different layers of information for any parcel that's out there. If you guys aren't aware of this, I mean, you should learn to do this, and you can search whatever county it is, county GIS or county auditor. The
okay.
GIS has more information, but both of them essentially are going to the same place. Yeah, Kevin.
Yeah, because that's what I wanted to. I was going to call him anyway to test because we were kind of confused. Where is the 14 acres? Because there's so much overgrown stuff back there, we couldn't really tell. And then
Yeah.
another thing is he said he was on city water, but right when you pull in, it looks like a huge leach field right next to it. So I'm like, well, if you're on city, then what is this? Like, so I have a few questions.
Well, yeah. I mean, he could be on city water and just not city sewer. He could be on, a leach field and still have a city sewer.
Last
So
time
not.
he's city water and sewer. That's what I meant. He's on
Oh,
city water and sewer. But
okay.
yeah, so I was
And
confused what that was. So I wanted to ask, but that's what I was wondering. I wanted to see like where are his lines, So
yeah,
that's
so in the
good to
chat,
know.
in the chat, Kevin is putting some in there. Regrid is also another tool, but any of these, like I just love GIS. It's everywhere, and it's tied into all the different things. You can start looking through the any of the records to see what is recorded, to see ownership. It's just you're starting to look into public record at that point. And so Regrid is a tool that you can pay for. They might have some free option, but there's tools that you can pay for that pull this data from public records, but public records are free as long as you learn how to use them. It's super powerful. So that's something that we could even dive into in another session, just showing people how to use free information if you want to dive deep. Now, I would say I don't want you to go diving too deep if there isn't really some meat of a deal that's there.
I think there is, because like even right next door, there's another RV park, and it's just like this long term. It's a little bit more, cleaned up, it looks like, but it's also full. And like my friend lives there, and she says they're always full. All these long term parks right there they're full. And down the street where we stayed was a resort one that has full time and transient, but mixed. And they just developed their park 3 years ago, and it's gorgeous. I loved it. It was fun. So it's fun to learn about all these parks too. But I definitely think there's something there, because it's getting the business, obviously.
Yeah.
Too much
Yeah,
work
for
for
sure.
me.
So,
For
so
my
the
first
reason
park, I was like, oh, I don't know.
yeah. Yeah. The reason I was going down that path of this, if there is another parcel already,
Yeah.
is because potentially you could go and get financing on the park itself that's making money. And if that includes the warehouse on it as well,
Yeah.
well, then that's great. And if there's just an undeveloped 14 acres, like he's mentioning, if it happens to be on a separate parcel, well, then we could potentially do a lease with an option on it, or just an option and no lease. So the
Oh,
ability to purchase it down the road, but not having to pay for it right now. So we're teasing out, even in his mind, what he thinks the value of different things are. So like Lizanne was saying, just getting him to understand what a bank is going to look at it and finance. So if we can tease that out and be like, all right, so that extra acreage, it's worth whatever amount, like let's put a dollar amount to that so that we can put a real dollar amount to the business that we have here of the RV park and all of that. So it's one can help to go off the other, and then you could get financing in different ways. But with an option on it, you could get the ability to purchase it down the road, control it without having to pay for it all right away, or having to get a bank to also pay for it. So just some different things to tease out. And even, if he values that as being so much because he sees like, oh, you could turn this into all these different things, great, keep it, right? Keep that and let us just take this other portion at a number that ends up making a lot of sense. Now, it cuts off your ability to expand down there, but I mean, if he's asking too much for it, well, then, that doesn't help you out in the end anyway. And it's
yeah.
reframing the problem to him, and with your help, you're reframing the problem so that you can really get to the root of his thoughts on it, these sellers' thoughts on it. That's just a tactic that I tend to use when someone is just claiming that this thing is so wonderful. It's like, all right, great. Well, why don't we just, hold on that for now, figure out what that dollar amount is, and then get us the ability to buy it later when we go and we refinance all of this. He's like, or, you could sell that off, or you could keep that thing and develop all these warehouses, right? And if we just have that option for it, then that allows it. And the option, if you guys don't know, you could set that option up for however many years in the future you could buy it. And it could be a renewing option. There's lots of terms that you can do, but it's just one more way that you don't have to pay for everything at once. And it's just a good, not negotiating tactic, although it ultimately is, but it's just trying to figure out the valuation in the seller's mind. You're using it as a tool to figure out what they're valuing every little thing at. Because again, yeah, he's trying to build multifamily on that other part. So maybe he just
Well, that's what he was trying to do originally before the RV park. So
yeah.
that's what got it all zoned for. And then now he just wants to be done with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good idea, because I never even thought about that.
I wonder if he found out he
lease.
can't do the multifamily, and that's why he's walking at this
At the
point.
time he said, no, at the time he said he couldn't, and that's why he did the RV park. But now it's zoned over there. The 14 acres wasn't originally, and so now it is. And I would obviously double check that with the city, but he said he did already. And but he lives out of state, and he just likes the land, and it's already got the RV park on it the long term, so he just doesn't want to deal with it anymore.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So, I mean, that's the thing is there's a problem here, right? He's looking to sell
Hmm.
clearly, right? Like what's his motivation to sell? He just is done with this area,
Yeah,
wants
he
to move
lives out of
on.
state and he's focused on land. He's a land investor, and so this isn't his thing. He just wants to unload it and take the money and run.
Okay. Yeah. So there's some motivation to do that. So,
But he
let's
also understands
work
as
the
an
problem.
investor. That's why he even talked about he knows it's overpriced, and he brought that up right off the bat. He said, "I'm pretty sure this value is more as at like a 2.8 with what my numbers are showing, but I feel like that 14 acres is, in a couple of years it'll be worth 7 million." But then I'm thinking, well, why don't you keep it? Like if it's, but
Well, yeah. And so
so
that's
he
the thing is
knows.
if it's parceled out, then it's easy to do already. If it's not parceled out, that could just be a condition of close is that you go and get it surveyed and it creates a separate parcel and you could do all the things that we're talking about with that separate parcel at that point.
Right.
So all these things are possible whether it's parceled out or not. It's a lot easier and cleaner if it already is. And but yeah, all you can do it all the same. And so that's why I almost say, it's good to use these tools to know the GIS and all of that, but it almost doesn't matter. Because again, you're playing the person and not the cards that are
Right.
there. You're looking at cards and you're pointing at cards and the in front of you in the river and everything, whatever poker terms. But I don't play cards. I don't gamble. I don't do
I
any
do.
of that, right? I don't like any of that, but just using it as an analogy. But I love real estate. So yeah, but that's an interesting one. So yeah, we can just move that along a little bit more. So Lizanne or we could hop on there and just, it's a fun exercise just to take that to the next level, right? Because you're saying,
Yeah.
I'm stuck. This isn't necessarily working well, but there's still a seller that has a need that isn't solved. He's going to sell it one way or another, and it might just be for less money over time. But if we can solve it now in a creative way, well, all the better. Why
Hmm.
not? Right?
Yeah.
You
Plus, it
already,
would be easy for me. My best friend lives there, so if I did buy it, that's what I was looking at it for. I'm like, this would be perfect. I can go there all the time and check on it and do things. And
hey,
she,
that's the fun I think that we all really want is just to have a bunch of people with RV parks across the country so that we can
yeah,
go and bop around. And now marinas. If you guys were on the meetup last night, holy smokes! I think I'm still on a marina wave from last night, wanting to buy marinas. So if anyone has an inkling or desire to buy a marina, I definitely want to
I
coddle
do.
you in that desire, because again, we can be great friends with that. I mean, it sounds all very similar. Is there anyone that wasn't on the meetup last night? Hit in the chat
I
if you
missed
say
some of it.
no.
I was driving, so I froze and I lost service. But it started off so good. I can't wait to watch the replay because oh my gosh, that was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of the similar things that we're doing, but just floating on water. Yeah, Asia. Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah, hard to focus with kids. That's one of the reasons everyone is usually asking for a replay. So we're like, gosh darn it, let's put them on the podcast. And I know Monica, what you said, you've now consumed every single one of them that we've dropped on there.
I even rewatched the ones that I was live for because I'm driving. What else am I going to do? And I'm like, I love to just listen to it all. So yeah, I watched all of them up until yesterday. So
You're consuming like the best of them.
getting it all in.
That's great. Yeah, that's awesome. That's super cool. So yeah, real fun. Yeah. So marinas. Yeah, something for sure. I was real surprised having her on. I didn't anticipate all of this. Other than like I mentioned that we tend to buy marinas de facto. It's like, oh shucks, I've got a marina, but usually it's not oh shucks. It's like, oh shucks, I got a marina now too. Right? And so, yeah, Ralph is saying the recording is going to be posted next Wednesday. Everyone's going to get the notification when it drops on YouTube. So, yeah, if you guys aren't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do that. That's wonderful so that you can hear anything new that's coming. All right, cool. So we've got a potential deal that's going on there, Monica. So get with Lizanne. We'll chew on that, work some of our creative magic, and just keep this story alive to
I
show
also
everyone
I
how that
also
can
want to
happen.
shout out Lizanne and Jessica helped me underwrite another park in Kansas City that I sent an LOI out on a couple days ago. So thank you, ladies. See how that one turns out too.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Love that. Super
Just
cool.
remember if it gets accepted, then we're here to get you through, right?
Oh yeah,
So,
because I have no idea what to do. I'm terrified of the next step.
right. So
I'll
that's what
figure that
that's
out
what
when
we're
it
all
happens.
that's what we're all here to do. So yeah, when you guys are are yeah, looking at this stuff or whatever, you know, me and Kevin and Zach and Ralph and Jessica, our job is to get you through all of this, you know, so please reach out to us because that's what we're here for.
Yeah. Good, happy, friendly community. We want to have other people that are owning RV parks all around. So that's the point of it. And we'll end up formalizing some information next year. You guys have heard. So we'll do that to help you out too. Because yeah, sometimes it's nice to stumble into it and for Monica just to be like, oh my gosh, what's next? But it is really powerful when we have some foresight and we say, all right, we know what's going to be next. And we know that we are like pre-qualified with funding and the capital stack, it's all going to line up just right. Or even if you know that you got to raise money, that you've got some people that are on the hook, you're just saying, hey, this is what I'm going for. So, you know, we'll get some soft commitments from people. And then when we have one, they're ready so we can go and talk to them in the future. But that's fine. You know, you either go from left to right or from right to left, but you get it done either way. And yeah, so we'll help out with all that. Cool. Awesome. So what else? Let's see. So I know last week, Jessica and some others were asking for my wife to show up. If you don't know, she's an energy healer and just thinking about some of these things with the mind. Super powerful stuff. And so I'm in her ear about that. She's excited to. We tried to get our babysitter to get here on early enough for this time. Today did not work out, but for sure next year it's going to be happening. I mean, next year is really soon, right? Not like sometime in the next 365 days, but next year, she's really excited to put some things together for that. So yeah, that'll be real fun. And just we'll have a little session of just talking about what's holding everyone back, right? And sometimes it's information, sometimes it's knowing the next thing. Sometimes if we really dive deeper, it's just like there's something in our head that might just give us that fear, that pause from doing that thing. And she's wonderful about teasing that all out. So that's real fun. Some good techniques for us to do and achieve more with that. So we'll have her on. Let's see what else. Yeah, we've got some. If anyone does have any questions here, and Kevin's asking, what's something that you bird dogs are either having trouble with or wanting to learn next? I get it. Sometimes we'll ask this. So if you guys know what are you having trouble with or something you want to learn, hit us up. Either raise your hand if you want to be a little interactive or drop it in the chat and we can chat about it and maybe I'll pull you up anyway. But just, you know, having that dialogue about it is wonderful. It's helpful because if you're having this thing in your mind, there's somebody else that's having that pause as well. But a lot of times, sometimes starting out, you just don't even know. You're here trying to learn a little bit. You don't know what that next thing is that you want to learn, but think about it. And what's holding you back? Because we've got some cool things we're going to be sharing with you as well here. But if you guys have any questions about that, yeah, feel free. If you have to sign an NDA, yeah, it's fine. I mean, NDAs are not really much. It's only if you're going to do something nefarious or try and go around them where someone is going to get like upset. And even if they do get upset, you know, what's the chance they're really going to throw money at the problem to do something with it? And even then, what's the chance that there's going to be some positive outcome for them? The only people that win in any type of litigation are the litigators, the lawyers. Everyone else is just paying and they're hurting their mindset and through all of that. So, you know, that's a big issue with it. Yeah, as far as NDAs. But I mean, you know, use it as kind of a, I don't know, it's like a gentleman's agreement. I was trying to think of a non-gender specific, but just like, you know, an agreement between two darn people that are respectable people. That's all it is. Just like we have an LOI, it's non-binding, but there's in ours, what we do is we have, you know, an exclusivity aspect of it where they're not going to go and engage with anybody else. And there's a confidentiality portion of it. They're not going to disclose this agreement, this offer that we've made to anybody else. Does it really stop them? No, it doesn't. It's just kind of like, hey, we're trying to be on the up and up with everything that we're doing. Give us a little time, in that amount of time that we're getting this purchase agreement together. Don't go out and shop anybody else, because we're working this. We're going to be working this challenge for the next 60 days at least, as we're working to close. So let's just be up and up about it. And some people will and some people won't, but a little clause is just one more thing to be like, hey, we agreed to this, right? But can we really stand on that and do a lot with that? Not really. Not really. It's just a line item for them to know at the end of the day that they're a jerk if they go around it, right? And jerks are going to be jerks, and honest people are going to be honest people. And people that agree to something, their word is their bond. Those are the people that their word is their bond. So that's all we're doing. And a lot of times, I'll even preface that and say those types of things to people. And it's like, hey, we're just spell that out loud to them, what we're trying to achieve. And it's usually fine. And if it's, the sellers are just typically good hearted like that, straightforward. So, and you only are going to have to work with them once most of the time. But all right, let's see what other questions we have in here. Asia has one. Hey, Asia, how should we approach people when they say, I want to talk to end buyers or acquisitions only before they share more information? Well, you should probably have a good end buyer that you can tap on to talk to about that. And that's just because these people have been hurt before or have heard horror stories from other people, but usually it's because they've been hurt before. They're a broker that's involved. They've been in a deal, something where it's just, hey, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. They've learned from it and they said, no, this isn't going to happen again. And I'm going to stop that. And so this is one of the reasons why it's always important, if you're bird dogging for someone, to actually have those end buyers that are close with you, where if you can feel out enough information that there's a good deal that could potentially be there, then you've got that good relationship with the end buyers that they can just hop on that, say, okay, that's fine. And you can even say and push back to them, say, all right, well, this is what my end buyer, like, they're very interested. And usually you could have a little snippet about them. For us, it's like we're looking to initially buy 25 RV parks. And so you can show them that there's that interest, there's that hunger that's there, and just say that my buyer, this is what they're asking that I need to get first, just some of this basic information. Usually we're not prying for very much. We're just looking for purchase price, NOI to justify that purchase price, and tease them a little bit, like extract a little if they're open to some seller financing on it. But those types of items, we already know where the park is. We know how many units there are. I'm sure you can get that even if they don't give that to you, but they should be able to give that all to you. But that basic information is enough for us to say, is it worth our time? And if I've got the answers to all of that, then sure, I don't mind stepping on a call with the seller and saying, Asia is absolutely a wonderful person working with us. I'm so glad she brought us together. Catch me up to speed on the deal here and see if this is something we're looking to buy. And they're like, okay, blah, 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 right? And so that's how you should approach it. And don't overstep it. The more you try to push it, the more they're going to push away, because they just have some trauma that they've dealt with from people essentially wasting their time one way or another. Yeah. Yeah. And so and the only thing about that answer, Monica, is that, if you are the end buyers, that Asia might quickly not sound like an end buyer. And if you do that, someone is usually, they've experienced something in the past. So their ears are already perked up for, if you say the wrong thing, they're out. They're just out. And they'd be like, this doesn't work. So, in those situations, I would just be honest with them. That's fine. You're saying that initial part, like you're saying you work with a team, you're part of the team. This is what we ask for first. That's fine. You can pivot like that. Yeah, but I wouldn't ever necessarily say that you're a bird dog. For one, sellers might not know what the heck that is. right? And so don't use that industry term. Just say you're part of the team. You are, because if you're bird dogging, if you're looking to bring us a lead for things, you are part of our team. You can legitimately say that. It's truthful, right? We just come on in the right time. So, yeah. So good answers. Get that one solved. All right. Gonna be a dirt bag. Yeah. All right, Dale. What do you have here? Since I'm new, how do I connect on a potential deal for Birddog or purchase? Hey, how about that? Yeah, that's a great question. So anyone listening or anyone new that's here, is anyone here new completely to this Friday deal session? Just say yes, me. I have to go all the way to the bottom. Oh, wow, we're having lots of chat. Yes. Okay, Rob. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Okay, Christine. Awesome. All right. Well, great. So, yeah, these Friday deal sessions, love having new people in here. That it's here every week. Recently joined the Sub 2 family. Oh, yeah. Awesome, Rob. So, yes, I am in Sub 2. I've been for a little over 3 years. But this isn't necessarily just Sub 2. This is open to anyone in the world that's interested in RV parks, right? That is our huge niche. It's RV parks. And so looking to help out with that. It is every Friday at this time, 11 a.m. You can watch some of the previous episodes on the YouTube, on the podcast. So you'll see on there Birddog 101, 102, 103. If you want to hear all of that, get some continuity for what is happening. This is our every Friday, and we do deal analysis. We help with people finding deals, and we're getting people where you can submit those deals to us. I mean, we're a buyer. You don't have to submit them to us, but by golly, you can make money with us. You should always have an end buyer if you don't know what you're doing, but you can make good money. If you go and watch Birddog 101, you'll end up, I'll walk through the amount of money that you can make by different stages of being a bird dog. And we want you to level up. And next year, we're going to have some official leveling up programs so that you can learn and you can grow and you can be more useful, make more money, and move on to the next stages of everything that you're looking to do. So that's everything that we have planned for you with that. And yes, Ralph responded to you and he said, hey, you can submit your deals here, Dale. So he dropped a link that's in here. And if you go to that, for one, you'll see the link for the Birddog 101 that's on there. And there's a bunch of resources that are on there as well. But you can submit a deal to us. And ideally, it would be an off-market deal because we get a lot of on-market deals from Crexy, and they tend to be on-market deals that aren't really very exciting, frankly, that have kind of been around the block a few times. Either most of them are just overpriced anyway, but they've been on the market for a while, and there's just something that's not quite working with them. Off-market deals we can do a lot with. For one, the majority of the world have not seen them yet. We can work with the seller directly, and you can hop on a call with me at that right stage. So submit something, you can hop on a call, and that's an example of what Asia did with me a few weeks back, hopping on a call and just hearing me talk to a seller, how I would communicate with a seller on all of that. And then you can be over our shoulders as we're taking the next steps on everything. And if you guys have been following along, last week I was in Washington, D.C. That's where we literally were projecting this from a car because we couldn't get into a Starbucks. The Starbucks didn't have any seats in it, technically. So we were doing that. But so I've been on the road and busy. So now I'm here, even though there's Christmas that's happening, I am hungry to talk to some sellers. So submit those deals and let's talk to some sellers. Let's get on the phones together. I want you to hear it. If not, I'm going to record it for you so you can hear it. But it's more fun when you're right there because I'll debrief with you right afterwards. I'll drop the seller off and I'll be like, what do you think? Right. And you're going to tell me what you think. And I'm going to tell you what the next steps are and what we're going to do. And you're going to be like, wow, that was so awesome. I'm so excited for the next things. And for some of them, it's just been this pause as I've been out and about and not back home here. So yeah, I'm very, very, very hungry to take these deals next. So Lizanne, Jess, and I, we're going to be chomping through all of these deals and moving them through. So you guys should be getting some emails about that as deals progress through. Speaking of which, okay, Ralph, can you drop the email address in the chat that we are sending all of our notifications from? So I want you guys, if you have submitted a deal to us, to make sure that you're seeing these notifications, because we let you know, hey, your deal has been submitted, we got it. Or if it doesn't work, it's coming from our automated CRM as we move the cart along in the whole system. And there's like, I don't know if there's like 12 steps, 13, 14 steps in the whole thing. There's an automated email that's going to get dropped to you to let you know the status of that. And I want to make sure that you are receiving those. So you might have to go into your spam and check it as unspam. That's where it's coming from. info@maverikashercapital.org. Okay. So you should be able to find that. Do a search. Make sure, if everyone can do that, open up your email browser of choice. But a lot of times they're going to put this into spam. So this is where we're sending all of our notifications. If you're missing any of our different events, like last night's event, really fun. We have that every month. Anything for these weekly events and any of these notifications that we're sending you, and even some updates on our different projects. It's all going to be coming from this info@maverikashercapital.org. So please go and mark that as not spam, and then you'll be getting all of those. So for you guys that were asking, hey, what's going on with my deal? What's going on with my deal? I'm going to say, please check that and make sure that you're getting those notifications, because I want to move into this next aspect of things and making sure that we're.
And Zach, just a little heads up for everybody.
Yeah.
We are having a huge demand and traffic to all our channels. So next year we are working to make a lot more robust, right? So everybody will be notified and will be in much more close contact with everyone, along with the course that we're putting together from A to Z of everything that a Birddog need to do in the steps after submitting an LOI and for Birddogs and people that want to even acquire parks themselves. So stay tuned. Next year we have tons of things coming up, and we're happy to see how this is unfolding, and even more how much this is helping everybody, right? So it's almost like we're helping everyone to help us to help others.
Heck yeah. That's what it's all about. That's why we've got this community. That's why we're here. I mean, that is our purpose. We don't charge anything for this. It's just we're here right now in the hope that you're going to earn money by bringing us good deals. And we're going to be teaching you ways of getting those deals. So there's even, I'm going to mention that. So stand by a little bit. I want to answer this one question, and then I'll tell you some fun stuff that we have that we're dropping for you guys that we've been working on in the background, that it's going to be happening right away. And the reason why I want to make sure you guys are getting our emails is because when we send this out, I want you guys to make sure you're receiving this. So, all right, Marquita, do you want to unmute? I'd love to answer your question and chat with you directly about this. I see this long text that you put in here. You're saying that you're new to this. Here you go. You're in the
yeah.
Hey there.
Yeah, sorry. I have 3 kids in the background, so if you start hearing yelling, that's why. So,
That's cool. I have 2 kids and they're making noise in the other room with my wife.
Yeah, it's pretty unmanageable. It's Christmas break, so pray for me. No, just kidding.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so no, I just was wondering because I'm starting to learn on all the Facebook sites and finding all the resources and stuff, and I'm pretty much like a go-getter. Like we're already even booking a trip to Texas in January 7th. We're going down there. We want to move down there. We're currently living in Wisconsin right now, and we're kind of sick of the cold and sick of the 9 to 5. So we want some more freedom. But anyhow, we stumbled upon this RV park idea, and we really love it. And we love the thought of community, people. And basically just making something great for people to come to, and anyhow, looking for the properties doesn't seem to be the difficult part for me, the scary part for me, and I'm very type A, so I analyze the crap out of things, and sometimes I probably shouldn't. But I guess I'm just nervous about like, okay, we find the RV park, we really love it. We find the owners that are like, yep, we're ready to be done. And then you're looking at the deal, analyzing it, everything seems right on paper, right? But like, what if there's hidden things like, oh yeah, like, you know, maybe that's not on city water, or, you know, what if there's a line busted somewhere? I mean, I get some of the stuff you can't really, you know, plan for, but I guess I just am learning, you know, like, is this things like, you know, people look for, and like, who do you talk to? Because like, we're so new. It's not like I have like a mentor on speed dial where I can just say, hey, can you help me like analyze this or make sure there's no discrepancies here? Is a lawyer advisable, like right off the bat, for standby to look at this kind of stuff? So yeah, that's kind of where my thoughts are.
Perfect. So yeah, I would encourage you, please listen to some of the things on our podcast, because I mean, the long answer, by consuming those, you know, you'll get a lot of these things answered for you. But let me give you the shortcut right now, because I appreciate you sharing that. I appreciate your interest in it, wanting to get out of your W-2 and into something that's fun. Love this asset class, right? And it can be very freeing when you structure and buy the deal right. But if you were to buy a bad deal or structure it in the wrong way, you could just get another W-2. You could get another job, and you just work this one park that you buy, yeah, until you don't, because it's just, you know, work yourself into the ground. So, but yeah, so first of all, you know, you're saying you get some of the basic numbers, and that's cool. And I would say the basic numbers are all you really need to move to the next step of putting an offer together on them. And that probably seems intimidating at first. You know, if you're that deeply analytical type, don't worry. I am too, and I've freed myself from that. So I'm a retired engineer and an architect. And so all of the numbers, holy smokes, I want to know anything before I do anything. And it doesn't just go to RV parks. It just is pervasive in almost everything that I do. I want to know all the details so that I can feel comfortable moving forward. And so there's a balance. There's a balance. But the thing is that you're never going to know all the things in the world. You just won't, right? And no matter how much you learn, with one park, there's going to be things that, just like you're asking, if there's things that aren't talked about, hidden items, there will be things that are going to be hidden that you're going to have to uncover. And so you're going to need extra people. I don't want to say people smarter than you. I don't want to say people better than you, but wouldn't it be nice if they were smarter than you and better than you as well, so that they can help uncover some of these things? And so, yeah, how many ways can you do that? And I'm going to tell you, good luck finding a lawyer that's helpful with this stuff. Lawyers just, I mean, they're going to look at your contract, make sure that there's, you know, contractually some things are good there, but you really want someone that is deeply ingrained in RV parks and looking at them, analyzing them. And part of that is what we have right here. If you know, some of the previous ones that we've had here on Friday, people bring us a deal and they just say, hey, what do I do? How do I structure this? Or there's this problem. Is this a big problem? How do I solve this? And what are the next steps on some of that? So we're here, right here for that. You know, it's every Friday. You just have to raise your hand. And of course, we'd love to help. You know, and there's other people that are on our team, like Lizanne and Jess and Ralph and Kevin. We're deeply integrated and looking at these things. So we're here to help you with that. And we've all have our different strengths and our superpowers. That said, we're also putting together, we started, and in the podcast, you'll hear some of the workshop series where it was this 15-part series where we started, and starting at the beginning of funding and then going into quick analyzing deals. So hopefully like the quick analyzing deals will get you out of your head a little bit and more just into like triage mode. It's something that works with me. It allows me to say, okay, we are going to analyze all the things, but not yet. we're going to do this in phases of analyzing them. Not yet. So, all right, then the part of me that really wants to look at it all, it says, okay, just going to put you on a shelf for now. And we're only going to look at these pieces of information to move things along to the next phase. Because yes, you want to look at every darn thing and uncover every rock, but no, you don't want to do that right away. Or for one, you're going to be spending a lot of time just to realize, this isn't a good deal. But also, gosh, the more time you're looking at it, someone else can come in to buy it. And of course, if the seller sees you looking under every rock, I don't know if, maybe not all sellers are super savvy salespeople, but like you're interested at that point. So I'm going to be a much harder negotiator for you if you're trying to negotiate with me at that point. All of that looking under the rock and everything, that happens during the due diligence phase. But we can ask the sellers specific questions of like, hey, tell me what your skeletons are. Tell me what the issues are. I want to trust you. We're going to verify it all, but it's a lot easier and faster if we can just trust each other and build that relationship. So just tell me the good, tell me the bad, so that we can work around them. We can problem solve. And it's not going to be something that we're going to have to deal with later on down the road. Just be open with me and I'll be open with you the whole way. Set that standard, and that makes things a lot easier. And they're not going to tell you everything. They're going to hide things. Some of the things they don't know genuinely, but they'll tell you some of the things they do know. And they might hide some of them, right? But we're just trying to get an idea. And again, you're setting that precedent of, hey, we were open and honest. These are the things that we found now because I had an inspector come through and look at the building. I had someone that come in and look at the electrical systems. I did all my analysis of the zoning that's in the area. It dealt with all these different things. I paid a consultant to go and underwrite all the numbers a little bit more, to look at my expansion potential that you said was good, but it is not good. And here's why: because of wetlands and this and that, right? That's where you hire some people that are more experienced than you on that. And I can help direct you towards those people. If we can't answer it right here, it can give you those resources down the road to help you to get to those people. So that's the comfort that I want you to have, to know that there are things like this that are right here for us. And we also have a Facebook community. If you're not part of the Facebook community, you can always drop something in there as well and ask a question. There can be multiple people that are just here to help, because that's who I attract in this world, is other go-givers, kind-hearted people, people that love RV parks and want other people to have RV parks so that we can bop around with our families enjoying them. That's the point of all of that. But yeah, trying to do it all yourself, no. Who and not how. That's what I want you to focus on. Is yes, you want to learn some of the hows, but man, who is so much faster. It's so much deeper. It's better. And you can get more done. And ultimately, you're going to get to some spot where it's a wall, and you're going to need that who, and you're going to need that who immediately, because learning all the how at that point, you don't have time. Like, this could be during your due diligence. It could be you need funding at the last minute because you didn't have that all lined up in advance. That's okay, right? But it's a lot easier for you to say, hey, who do I go to for funding this type of park, as opposed to going and calling the 30 different lenders and realizing that 28 of them don't lend on RV parks. And you're like, man, I've spent all this time doing this and I'm exhausted. I got to do so many other things. I just made 30 calls, but you maybe only made 25. So you never found those two that'll actually fund on RV parks and your specific type of deal. So that's where a community comes in spades, a mentor if you want, but we've got lots of mentors that are all around. That's the beauty of a community. So it doesn't have to be one person. So you already have a lot of resources at your disposal. You just don't know it yet. So I just wanted to expose you to all of that, to everyone that's new, that's here. That's what we do. That's what I love curating for you. Does that make sense, Marquita? I know you probably...
Yes, no, that absolutely makes sense. And yeah, I'm really grateful that I stumbled upon this community, because I think this is definitely going to be a huge source of help for me. And I am also glad that you guys do this every Friday. So yes, then I don't have to be waiting around, to ask questions. So yes, this is wonderful.
Awesome. Yeah. So feel free, bring any questions that you have, no matter how remote. I want you guys to, if you do have any questions, please, this is where it's just to move you along to the next step. on all of that. So yeah, that's exactly what this is here for. And, we can fill it with some other items as well, looking at some deals if that's helpful to everyone. And it looks like some people are dropping their buy box in the chat. That's perfect. So yeah, that's another thing, Marquita. If you're starting out, figuring out what your buy box is, putting that together, that's one of the things that we went over in the second workshop when we're talking about analyzing the RV parks. The only way you can analyze them quickly is if you know what you're looking for and what you're not. I want a red car that fits these many people, that's this amount of gas mileage, has these many miles on it, et cetera, et cetera. But we're in RV park terms. So we want so many pads that makes a certain NOI. Maybe it's a price point. It's a certain state that it's in. It's on a highway and byway, or it's remote. I want short-term stays, long-term stays. And besides figuring that out for yourself, if you're looking to Birddog for other people, you want to know what their buy box is. And so to put that into perspective, and there's some other people that are dropping their buy box in here. We put our buy box on our deal submission page. So you can find that right there. Ralph has that pretty much on the screen. And I will just share this real quickly just to show you guys what this looks like. Make this a little bit bigger. But yeah, submit your deal here. Here's the details, blah, 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 blah. Step, step, step. You get paid. Here's that Birddog 101 I'm talking about. So you figure out on this one, you understand my background behind it all and how much you're getting paid. Birddog 2, we go into that. And of course, just on the YouTube page, you'll find a bevy of stuff. And here's our buy box. Here's our buy box right there, right? So this is what we are looking for. Typically, we like waterfront for a bunch of different reasons. But yeah, Kevin now pretty much wants to just add in there, I want a marina on our buy box. And even though these are the states that we have on here, essentially, if it's an off-market deal, we'll look at any state because, again, we're just solving the problem for a seller. We'll look at any state, and if it's a good deal, we'll put it under contract. We'll structure it in a way that someone's going to want to buy it, if not us, and we'll get you paid as a Birddog because we've got lots of other buyers that buy in areas and in conditions that we aren't looking for at the moment, or perhaps we've got so many that we don't want to onboard so many at the same time. This is a good opportunity to wholesale it off, share it. And I mean, part of my purpose is to bop around the country with my two little boys, teach them everything that two little boys need to learn, and little boys. So that's freaking everything. And so it's northern states as well. But like you, Marquita, from Wisconsin, I'm sitting in sunny Ohio. It was 55 degrees yesterday. It's 21 degrees today. And it was freezing rain. It's cold. So give us something warm. But if you guys haven't done it, this is what you do. You just submit a deal to us and it'll ask you to verify your phone number. You'll get a text and all of that and make sure that you are a real person. And then you'll get information from us as it gets approved. And one of the things you'll realize that right now is we're not asking for the seller's contact information. I don't know, Lizanne, we might have to meet and add that on. I think, is that something
that's
that
our
we...
thing. Yeah, if you guys are talking to a seller, Ralph's gonna fix that today, right, Ralph? We're gonna put their phone number in there so because a lot of them we're looking at, we're like, okay, who are we calling? We don't even know. But one of the things I wanted to tell you too is where it says the comments. I mean, if you had a conversation, any information that you can add helps us to get through your lead and help you, to get this closed in these comments. Yeah, any information like they said they need to sell right now, or they said, oh my gosh, it needs a lot of work, or they'd be willing to pay to sell it for just any conversation, anything you could put in there helps so much, because then when we're calling them, following up, saying you spoke to our team member, it just helps us to move that along faster. But yeah, phone numbers are fantastic because then we know who to call. So notes and phone numbers are amazing. So I appreciate that because I'm going to be trying to get through some of these, and it just makes the process so much easier for me. So
Yeah, and we're iterating. We are honing things to make them better and better every day. So part of that is we're meeting to have these conversations to say, all right, what's working, what's not working. We want to make things better for everyone. And so that's one of the things you're going to see on there. We originally left it off because we wanted to make sure that you all felt that you could trust us. Hey, we're not going to go behind. But guess what? If you're submitting it, I think you know now that you can trust us. We're excited. Trust me when I say that we are so excited to get you paid as a bird dog, because think about what's going to happen. We pay you to be a bird dog. It's a $2 million park. We give you 20 grand, 30 grand, 40 grand on that, right? A cash check at closing. And you are pretty hungry at that point. You're like, wow, that wasn't so difficult. And gosh, I learned things and I felt like I was supported the whole way. Well, you're going to want to do it more and more and more. And so that's what we want to encourage. And that's what we're going to have. We're going to have lots of these success stories. So we're going to be sharing those with you. Heck yeah, Jamar, let's go. Let's get these big checks happening. So on that note, I'm going to let you know these are the next things that we have in store that we're working on. So everyone that has submitted a deal to us in the past, then we have your phone number, we've got your email address. We're going to be emailing you, and we've got some things coming up. And so essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to be walking you through how to get in touch with some RV park owners, because we have a list of 17,000 RV park owners and their contact information. And we're going to give you some simple scripts, simple things to say on the phone so that you can call them. Yeah, direct to seller. Direct to seller is the best darn thing ever. Holy smokes. You don't have an agent that's involved. You just have a seller. We're going to give you a simple script. It's not going to be long. It's just going to be gauging their interest essentially. And it's really, we're purposefully making it so that even introverts can have these conversations. Yes, it's going to feel a little different because, trust me, there's a part of me that's an introvert, and it's just like, oh man, it's just, like, oh no, what are they going to say? But we can go through it. And what we're going to do is for the people that have submitted things, we're going to be sending you an email, setting you up with another Zoom where we just say, all right, here we go. Let's practice one, right? I can run through one. Lizanne can run through one. Maybe Jess can run through one. Jess is like, oh no, I got to run through one, because normally Lizanne's the one that's doing all the calling so that Jess can be the integrator in the back and never have to call anyone. Kevin, you can get to call someone, right? And all of a sudden Kevin's going to be like, I'm gone. I'm out of here, right? Sorry, bad internet, right? But it's not for everyone. I get it. But if you can just get over this thing in your head, you could end up making tens of thousands of dollars just from doing this, right? And it's going to be a simple conversation that I mean, gosh, if I could get my little 2-year-old on the phone to do it, he sounds just a little too young. I don't know. But I bet I could pivot it and be like, all right, I was trying to have my little boy do this for me, right? And I could turn it into something cute. If he was just a little bit older, I'll make him do some cold calls and we'll turn it into a fun game. And that's what we do is like, if you just turn it into a fun game of basically, as opposed to looking for a yes, just count the no's that you're getting, or count it's not even going to be a yes or a no that we're going to be asking you to ask from them. So it's not going to be this, oh no, I got this no, but there'll be a way of, even if it were a no, there's the concept of, hey, go out and try and get 50 no's. Right before you stop. That way you're not like, oh, the first no, it's like, oh, this sucks, I just want to like go away. No, the game is to get 50 no's in that point, right? And the people that don't mind calling, they're just like, yeah, let's do it, right? This is fun. If they've done that in the sales, the more introverted type are like, that sounds not great. Right? But that's okay. We're going to turn the not great into this is okay. And then from okay, we're going to turn it into this is fun. Right. And what happens? All right, we'll hear one where it's like, it was like a hard no. It's like, no, I'm not interested in selling. I've none of this. Like, hopefully we can get one where we get a real rough person that's like that. Right. I say hopefully, because then you'll see the worst thing that can happen. We hang up and we're still alive. It's all good. right? And we just move on from that, and we can do a little dance and be like, clear that energy. That's theirs, everything that they're doing that has nothing to do with what I'm doing right here. Let's go to the next one. And we can move on very quickly and pivot from that. And so hopefully that we can get something from that. But you're going to find that people are not like that. For the vast majority of them, these RV park owners, they love talking to other people out there. For one, they love talking to people. They are the ones that are looking to sell are excited to talk to someone that's looking to buy, that's a genuine person that's in that. And so, yeah, you'll move along and you'll see that it's like this can be fun. And when it becomes lucrative, then it becomes like, all right, this is real fun. Like I can do this. And how many can I do on my lunch break, right? How many can I call on my lunch break and just move the needle forward a little bit? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to give you that script. We're going to walk you through it. You're going to see us actually do that and see that it's meant to be real short conversations. You're not going to be the one that's having the long conversation. Don't worry. All you're going to be doing is gauging that initial reaction of things and asking them if they are saying that they're interested in some way, if they're kind of like on the higher end of, yes, I'm interested in potentially selling. Then you say, oh, great. Well, like, is it okay if I pass that information along to my team and they'll give you a call? Oh, great. Okay, sure. Just want to confirm what's a good number? What's a good time? All right, we'll get back to you. Thanks so much. And there it is. And then you'll be on the phone with us. We can call them back and talk with them. And then we can do all the things that we do. And I've got a much more detailed script for the people that want to take that next step. You want to know what to do, what we do. Yeah, it's going to be there. And it's not even like a script, right? The next level with things is you're really just trying to ask some certain questions, but you're engaging with them at that point. But that's the next level. I don't want to take you guys to there if you're not ready for that. So all we're going to do is ask some simple questions of them, and you're going to get a feel for all of that. And you're going to be like, this is fine. This is fun. I want to do the next thing. So yeah, we'll do all of those things. So if you haven't submitted a deal yet, submit a deal into there. You'll get on our email. You'll get an email from us, like Ralph put in, the info@maverikashercapital.org. So make sure you mark that as not spam. You should find that somewhere in your inbox. Somewhere, mark it as not spam so that you make sure that you hear about all of that. We'll probably end up, yeah, Kevin is the one. If you guys know Pace Morby, this is a small little story here, because it's funny, and I don't think Kevin's going to mind because he dropped that. But Pace Morby is driving around the country in an RV. If you guys don't know who Pace Morby is, he's a leader of a big community called Sub2. It's all about creative finance. You can creative finance basically anything, real estate, businesses, an RV, phone, if you really want. You can just understand that you can creative finance anything. And he's driving around the country right now to 100 cities in 100 days, meeting hundreds of people at each of these places. It's kind of insane, right? It's insane the amount of logistics and everything and stamina to keep these items going that he has. But anyway, he did a similar practice. He had a list of there in North Carolina, there were 20 leaders, and they each had a list of 10 people to call on there that were supposedly vetted leads. He had 10 people on each of these leaders' groups. And so the leaders are doling out these leads for everyone. And there was a very specific text. He's like, text them first, call them 3 minutes later. After that, here's the very simple thing to say. Kevin's like, oh, hell no. I'm not going to do that, right? And how many ways are you going to avoid that? What was it, Kevin? Like, tell me if I got it wrong. Like, so Kevin ended up like, oh, I got to go to a bathroom. So I guess I'm not going to find a group, right? I'm going to wander to find a bathroom, right? And while everyone's doing this for like the next course of 45 minutes or an hour, might have been, he walks in, he's just like, wandering around, kind of looking lost from here to there, to there, to everything. I mean, so much so that you just avoided it completely, right? Kevin, love Kevin. He's amazing at what he does. And that's part of why, having a great team, some people that like to do the things over here are completely different than the things over here. He's not so desirous to talk to another human being cold on the phone like that. I'll let him
When I
say
was in the Marine Corps, we found ways, like creative ways of n not doing work, and it's really an art form, really, like finding ways to not do work and like look like you belong, and just like, oh, we just assume they're doing something. But yeah, no, I did not want to call those people, so I just found an easy way out.
And it's funny. So, like, even me, I didn't really want to call. It's not what I do. When I did so I've been a real estate investor for 2 decades. And when I started out, I posted some of those "We Buy Houses" signs, and I would put them all around, and people would call them, and it wouldn't even call to me because I don't want to be interrupted. It would go to a Google Voice number, and I could call them back, and literally I could call them back and ask, "How can I help you?" And that is very much in line with what I love. I love helping people, just like I'm helping you guys here. I knew that. And I'm like, this is great. Even if they yell at me, I'm like, hey, jerk, I'm just trying to help you in my mind. Right. So I'm like, it's justified. Right. And so that worked well for me. So I never really liked the whole cold calling thing, but I still did it at the time. And it turned out fine. Like, I mean, actually, it was difficult to hear the other person, to understand them with everyone else that was talking. That was my biggest problem. But I got someone that was interested in selling their. No, he's like, there's not a house there anymore. There's just the land. I'm like, okay, all right, there's a land, and trying to talk them through all the things. I know all the steps for houses. It's similar to RV parks, except it's actually harder. I'm going to tell you guys, you don't know it if you haven't talked to people. It's harder talking to single family residence owners than it is talking to RV park owners, a business owner. Business owners get it. They usually have bought things on seller finance. They love talking to people. Single family home owners have never gone through the process before. This is the first time that they've either bought the home, or if they own it, it's the first time they're selling the home. They've got all their notches from their kids, how tall they are in the house, all the memories. Usually there's some trauma that's happening, like a foreclosure or something that's getting them on one of these lists to call. So they've been hit up by lots of other people, and they don't know what to do, and they're not trusting, and it's spam, and it's just random people that don't understand business, don't understand certain taxes, so they don't understand seller finance. It is insanely harder, and it's not intuitively that way. You would think that it is harder talking to an RV park owner. I'm going to tell you, it's easier just knowing a little bit. There you go. Yeah, and Lizanne doubles down on that. She's saying that they're easier and they're kinder.
I was going to say they're
are.
kinder because they're in the hospitality business, right? So their job pretty much is, to make people feel comfortable. And I mean, you still have boundaries, but unless it's the park that we're buying. And anyway, our reviews are hysterical. But yeah, it's just that's what they're used to. They're used to having to answer the phone and help somebody through. So, it's easier to talk to them. And it's definitely more enjoyable. I mean, I've built some great relationships already with park owners, and that I still go back to and touch base with, just because they're great people. It's a great industry. It really is.
Yeah.
Zac, I wanted to say something real quick about, just to kind of put a ribbon on, what we were just talking about was, the availability of this basic, training to help to go direct to sellers. And then, if you guys are wanting more, that's the second thing that Ralph was talking about, is that we're putting together a full program to get you through, because you're like, well, I don't want to just Birddog and give you guys parks. Like, I want to hold a park myself. So that training, we're building that as well to get you through the whole thing, so we'll have both available to you guys soon. Just let us get it together, because there's a lot to do, but we're working on it. We're getting it there. So
yeah, it's going to be even better than things that are out there right now, things that we have gone through individually. We're taking all the best of those, and we're honing the worst, and we're saying, we have to do better than that. So we're putting all that together. And this is basically because we had this 15 module course that we were going through in this workshop series, that you can listen to the first 5 of them on the podcast, and people just wanted it faster. They wanted more, they want it faster, and they want that interaction. They didn't want it 1 month apart. Like, come on, right? It's like spreading out your meal over the course of a week for one day. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm starving in between, right? So that's what we're doing. We're really excited about it. So it's a big undertaking, but we're excited about it. And then, yeah, we're going to have lots of availability so that we can get you through all those different steps. And that's just going to be tons of fun. So those are the next things that we have going on. Absolutely. Yeah. And Asia too. Appreciate you, Asia. Yeah, that's grateful for all of you guys here. You know, I think about what I'm grateful for every day. I'm grateful for you guys spending Fridays with me. I'm grateful for you in trusting that you're going to evolve and elevate by coming here and doing more with us, because I know you will. I absolutely know you will. So that's the fun thing is, yeah, let us get gifts wrapped first. Yeah, we have to deal with that. That's happening here soon. But yeah, so that's the next steps. Essentially, you guys know what you got to do. Subscribe to the YouTube. Make sure you're in our Facebook group. Make sure the spam is filtered so that you get this email. Submit a deal to us of some type. That way, we'll have your email address. We'll send you that invitation. So we're not forcing anyone to come and us to give you leads and us to teach you how to call them. We're giving you leads to call. Well, we're not forcing you to do that. So it's just whoever ends up raising their hand for that. But that's why we want to make sure that you're getting that email. And then we're going to be really excited to have you on and to walk through this. I love talking to sellers. It's always interesting. I almost wish I record every single one of them. But it's sometimes it's a 45-minute conversation that it's just building lots of rapport, and it's uncovering things that other people haven't uncovered. They haven't asked the right questions. They haven't structured the deal in the right way. And then Asia, awesome. So you may have missed it. Did you say the email for the leads would be coming after the new year? I don't know if that's the case. We're going to send an email out here. I'm thinking next week, since it's a Friday at this point. We're going to send it out next week to at least set the schedule of when we're going to meet. And we've got that whole week that's after Christmas too, before the first year. It's just in the new year, that's when we're going to have this bigger, robust program for anyone that wants to not just find deals and, with the deals and the leads that we're giving you, but wants to go out from the leads from anywhere and take things the whole way, soup to nuts, from beginning to end, and own a park yourself. So we're putting that whole thing together, and we're going to have weekly availability, office hours for all of that, to answer any questions as you go along. Make sense, everyone? I'm excited. It'll be really cool. You excited? Oh my gosh. Yes. What is this? Kevin, you dropped a book. Kevin is great at this too, right? It's like, holy smokes, we're about to close. And then there's Kevin, if you want to own parks, you're looking at ones to buy. Remember, this is a very creative space. So many options you can add to the vacant land. Yes. Lots of stuff. He's doing fun stuff, all of that. And yeah, so as another resource, yeah, you can always engage with Kevin and buy his time. There's someone that ended up buying mine and Kevin's time this week too. And drop that link for that if people really want to. I usually don't, I don't push with this to begin with, but if you really are in a situation where you need an answer right away, by golly, you can do that. And so rvparkconsultant.com, heck yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Jamar. Love that. Praying for all of us here to kick this next quarter into high gear, get some RV parks. I dig it. Awesome. So that's the link. Everyone's got that. Watch your email. Lots of fun stuff to come. Excited to see you on the other side of that. So have an awesome Christmas, and I'll see you guys even next week. So I'll be here next week if anyone wants something. Have a great one, and go find some RV parks. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.